All right, let's do some more briefing, why don't we? Because we're not done yet.
We're not done with this debriefing yet.
The chief of DARPA.
Now we're actually starting to get into what this mission is. Now we've got some backstory.
What business did they have at a nuclear weapons disposal facility?
The truth
What
is
does
that
DARPA
secret
stand for?
exercises were being conducted at the time the terrorist group
I'm not
attacked.
actually sure.
I mean, it's a government
Must be
agency.
extremely
Defense
important
Advanced
exercises
Research
if those two
Projects
were directly involved.
Agency. Excuse me.
Were they testing some
okay.
kind of new advanced weapon?
So basically,
I'm
that
not
is going to
privy
be
that
your
information.
top secret research for the country.
Do we know exactly where they're being held?
The DARPA chief has also been injected with a mini transmitter. As you get closer, you should be able to...
Technology in video games is a lot better technology than what we have.
Yeah.
Apparently.
The best explanation when it comes to nanomachines in this game, and the word nanomachines, is that I go by what some call me Johnny called it. It says this is just their magic in this game.
Yeah, because everything that happens, they explain it as because of nanomachines, which
They
is
say
basically
they
the
do.
same thing as saying because
They even
magic.
gave us the serial number of the
Yep.
warhead they planned to
And
use.
that's a good way of putting it, actually.
Was the number
You think Metal Gear is going to be a normal, like, Mission Impossible type game? Oh, you're in for a ride.
I mean, yes
Let me put it-
and no,
Isn't there some kind of
and
safety
obviously we'll
device
see
to
more of
prevent
that
this type
later
of
on.
terrorism?
But it's like,
Yes.
before this, I
Every
have
missile
played
and warhead in
some
our
James
arsenal
Bond
is
games
equipped with a
before, like
POW, which uses a
GoldenEye,
discrete
and I think it's like
detonation
007
code.
World Ends With You, stuff like that. And this has
Permissive
some
action
inklings
link.
of
The safety
those
control
kind of
system goes
games,
into
like
all
structure,
nuclear
you know,
weapon
being sneaky
systems.
and
Even so,
having gunplay,
we
but
can't
it's
rest
not
easy.
even close to the same. It
Why
has its
not?
own fair share of
Because
differences
the
to
DARPA
it.
chief knows the detonation code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anything, a lot of people look at this
But
series
even
and think
if
of
they
like
had a
another
nuclear warhead, it must have been
Konami
removed from its
series.
missile.
It's
All
on
the
the tip of my
missiles on
tongue,
this
and I just
disposal
forgot.
site are supposed to be
To be
dismantled.
fair, so did
It's
Konami.
not that easy to get your hands
Which is
on
sad.
ICBM.
That
The
used to be
Tom
true.
Clancy games, one
But
of the
since
Tom
the end of the
Clancy's.
Cold War, you can get anything if you can.
Oh
pay
wait,
the
you're
money.
talking that's Ubisoft.
Or
right?
Ubisoft, excuse me. To be fair, everyone
Splinter
has a
Cell.
similar...
Splinter Cell. You're
Thank
thinking
you,
of Splinter
it's
Cell.
Splinter Cell. Yeah, it's very similar to Splinter Cell if you played that. You know it's bad when you blur the companies
It's all right.
together, but they also have both had their series just go dormant. Metal Gear and
Yeah.
Splinter Cell basically
These
both went dormant.
terrorists. I know there
At
was
this
an
point.
exercise going on at the time they revolted.
So there's another similarity
Honestly-
besides gameplay.
I'm afraid.
What
Let's
about
see. The
battle
last
experiments?
actual Metal Gear game, I'm not counting the
six in
super,
charge
the
are
stupid
plenty tough,
zombie-like game
after
either.
all.
Yeah, to be fair, the investors actually had to
Hey,
also not hear
you
about
can
it because they
make it
didn't
flush.
want to know.
The others are next generation special
Let's
forces.
see. When did
They're not your
Metal Gear
average
Solid
bullets either.
5 came out in 2015, I think.
Yeah.
So it's been almost 10 years since a new Metal Gear, quote unquote new, mind you, game with Metal Gear Solid 3 getting remade now. Yeah, this series has been dead for a while.
Yeah.
So what exactly?
No, one
Yeah,
thing I'm
by the way,
surprised
Snake, what the
about-
hell?
A person
It's a nice camera angle, too.
Yeah, why are you bent over like that,
That's
Snake?
right.
That's just weird.
To be more accurate.
One thing I'm
cell
surprised that
specimens
Konami
which
hasn't
contain the individual's
looked
genetic
into,
information.
especially with the rise of video game shows and
specimens.
movies, is to
would
make
they
some
want
kind of
that?
Metal Gear show
terrorists
or
need them.
movie, because
You
this
see,
would work
these
really
next
well on that
generation
front.
special forces
Especially because,
can
you know, it's made by a
strengthen
guy
gene therapy.
who mainly wanted to get in the movies, but then just got into games instead.
You've heard of the
Which is
Human
why the Metal
Genome
Gear series
Project.
plays out more like a
They've
movie.
been mapping the human genome
Yep.
and they're nearly finished.
It'd be hard to,
Thanks,
you know,
Kojima.
Following up on
do
this research,
a movie
the
or a show
military
without
has been working
Kojima in some
towards
ways, because he was
identifying those
the one that
genes,
told all
which are
this, and that's why there
responsible
hasn't
for
been a
making
new
effective
Metal Gear
soldiers.
game since he left Konami outside of Survive, which
There
Survive
are
didn't even
genes
have
that do that.
any traditional elements to it, and its own
Yes,
story was a
and
mess.
Using gene therapy, they're able to transplant
Yeah.
those genes.
When
into
I heard
regular
about Survive, I was like,
soldiers.
I'm not touching that game with a 10-foot pole.
Gene
There's no way I'm
Yeah,
playing that game.
that game was a hardcore flop, and it had so many design flaws to it. Like, you had to play a lot of single player before you were allowed to play
With gene
multiplayer.
therapy,
That's
it
how
becomes
bad
easy to
the game's
remove
like overall
genes that
design
cause
was.
sickness and disease, or alternatively,
So
to
stupid.
splice in additional genetic material.
So we do get a little bit of like
In other
medical
words,
uh
we can overcome
lessons in
all
this game as
sorts of
well,
genetic
because obviously
diseases, and at the
Naomi's a
same
doctor.
time,
but she's not like the typical doctor. Obviously, she's more of a scientist type doctor.
Okay. And so
Um,
you knew what genes were responsible for making
A lot of this
perfect
stuff when I was a
soldier.
kid, I
You
had
can
no
put
idea
them
what
in
they
the
were
same
talking about,
way,
obviously,
right?
and I had to like look up a lot of information on it later on in life.
But it all depends on being able to isolate and identify
I'm just gonna say,
those soldier genes.
Kojima is really good at
And in order to
making
do that,
stories
it's
that
helpful if you can study the
um,
genetic information of one of the greatest
how do I
soldiers
say
ever.
this, like, is real.
Yeah,
It-
a little too good, let's just say, because he has some very, very big coincidences happen with storytelling, and then, you know, global issues happening almost immediately after his said releases come out.
Metal
Yeah.
Gear Solid 2 comes to mind, and its ending is just like,
Death
Man,
Stranding as
why
well.
did-
warrior of the 20th
Yeah.
century.
just why?
Big boss.
That's right. We've been working feverishly to identify.
You guys want to
the
do a
genes
counter on how many
responsible
times they
for
say
his
Big Boss in
remarkable
this game?
combat skills.
It's like Kingdom Hearts stay in darkness all the time.
60 of the
Yeah, I mean, if
Oh my
you're
gosh.
drinking every time they said that, you'd be on the ground with liver failure.
Son's
Yep.
body was recovered after
So,
all.
for anybody who's never played Metal Gear 1 and 2, Big Boss was a big character in those games, and he's actually Snake's dad, like his real dad.
Priceless
So,
to the military.
At the end of Metal Gear 2, Snake had to kill his own father.
But it was possible
And
to restore his DNA
he,
profile
you
from
know,
just a single
things
strand
happen
of
I'm not
his
going to get
hair.
into, but
Oh, heck, it's like some kind of dinosaur theme park.
Welcome.
Metal Gear.
Majestic creatures.
Jurassic Park was different, guys. What happened?
Okay, this is great. I love this. Oh my god, that was funny.
Genes in a
Also,
soldier.
thank you, Sonic Ghost, for making that for me.
Process that I discovered
Glad I finally had a
gene
use.
targeting.
Because that's
As soon
priceless.
as soldiers don't become what they
I
are,
remember that line
their
because
skills
Snake
and
says,
talents
this is like some
decrease.
kind of dinosaur theme park. I'm like, hey!
I mean, like this one. Pulls out any Jurassic Park film.
Snake. We
Yeah.
can't hand over his
But
body.
as I was saying about
It's
Big
more
Boss,
strategically important than any
it's
weapon
like
of
a
mass destruction.
complicated relationship between
hear the
Snake and
terrorists
Midbox
calling
because he
themselves
obviously
the
killed
sons of
his
Big
own
Boss.
dad. So, but that gets also explained later on in the series with other games.
Sons of
as
Big
well.
Boss.
If you're interested in playing Metal Gear, just play the whole series to understand the full story. That's all I can say.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into each game's entry. Even like the older ones that were mentioned, like Metal Gear 1 and 2 on the MSX. Like they're
Tell me about
for
these
very
next-generation
old
special
games
forces.
on, you know,
They started out
hardware
as an
that most people didn't have
anti-terrorist
access to when you really
special
think about
made
it.
up of former
They
members
are
of
very
biochem
in-depth for
units,
story.
technical escort units, and the nuclear
Yeah.
emergency search team. Their purpose was to respond to threats involving.
We're almost done with
next-generation
briefing, by the way.
weapons of
We're
mass
very
destruction,
close to
including
being done with this.
NBC
Yeah, just a
weapons.
few more entries.
Until they
Because
were added
the more you
bonus.
go in, like there are some entries that are really
Who's
long,
they?
but then there's some that are like maybe 3
These
minutes
guys
tops.
didn't start out as regular
Yep.
army.
Looks like a pretty international group.
But yeah, there's a
Sorry.
lot to the story that they obviously cannot
Yeah,
put in one
and it gets
game.
worse.
And
Most of them were from a merc agency that I
fun
think you're
fact,
familiar with.
Kojima wanted the
part of
series
Big
to end
Boss's
after Metal Gear
private
Solid
eye.
2. He had
And
no
after
plans
Big
to make
Boss
Metal
went
Gear Solid
down,
3 and
The
4.
military just bought out all their contracts.
You know, that makes more sense in hindsight when you see how technically the story starts with Metal Gear Solid 3 for the Solid games,
Outer heaven.
which is the third game in the series, which doesn't
After
add
that,
up when you really think
they were
about it.
merged with our own
So that's
Yeah.
probably
PR
why he
unit,
went
Force
backwards in a
21,
timeline.
And retrained. If you ask me, these
Now,
so-called
this is my favorite
next-generation
game
special
series of all
forces
time for
should
obvious
be called
reasons,
simulated
but
soldiers.
there are still
have
some
no
games I have
real
not played in the
battle
series. Like, I have not played, like,
Soldiers
Portable
of the
Ops
game generation,
and
huh?
what is the other one on
Don't forget,
PSP?
they've all been
Um,
strengthened with
Oh, like
gene
the Acid
therapy.
I can't think
series?
They carry genes
That
from
and the,
ex-soldiers.
there's another one
Don't
on
get
there. I can't
careless
think
just
of its
because they
name.
don't have
I think
much
it was Peace
experience.
Walker's the other
I
one.
thought International
Peace
wanted
Walker,
banned
thank you.
Yeah,
military.
that
I have
has an
not played
HD
those games.
version
Yes,
as well
but
nowadays,
those
so you
are
can
just
technically play it on like a
declarations,
PS3.
not actual treaties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The interesting thing
I have not
is,
played those
nearly
games, but I do
every
know they
neighborhood
tie
unit
into the
conspired in
story.
this attack.
But I already know the story because I watch like YouTube videos on this stuff. But like, if you really want to get into the series and you're interested in seeing like the story and not just playing it for game, you have to kind of play everything to get the full story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kinda like
it is
Kingdom
kind
Hearts
of.
in that sense.
Entire unit
Yeah, I was
be
like,
subverted
just
to
about ready to
rebellion.
bring that series up too. It is
They're
just like
calling it
Kingdom Hearts in a lot of
revolution.
ways, where
Since they all
even
went through the same gene
the games you don't
therapy,
really
they
think have
probably
much to
felt
do with
closer
the
than
main
brothers.
series
They see
have
the
nuggets
unit
of
as their only
information that are
family.
used in later
The
games. So
sons
even
of
the
Big
spin-off kind of
Boss.
games you want
But
to
if
play
they
just
were
to
regular
get
army,
some
they must
story
have
for
been
the next
interviewed
entry.
periodically by army counselors.
Yeah.
According
Which
to
is,
their
you know, a blessing and a
files,
curse when a
they
game
all
does
got
that.
straight
Because,
A's on their
oh great, that's more
psychological
games to
tests.
play. And then you
They
realize,
all
oh
seemed
god, that's
like
more games to
fine,
play.
upstanding,
Because
patriotic
there's
soldiers.
these games are pretty long in
But they
general.
all took part in the uprising?
Like
No.
even
Several
the
people
Metal
didn't
Gear
show up on
Acid
the day of
series,
the
which is
exercise.
Acid 1 and 2,
That's
they're
why there
like
was a
comic
resupply of
books,
troops.
but they still have story that
Was there
goes
any
with the main
sign
series. It's
recently
like,
that something might
why?
be wrong?
There was a
But
report
you know,
among
that's
them.
how things are.
They
So
Isn't Ghost Babel part of that too?
Apparently,
Yeah,
they
and
consulted
Ghost Babel,
classified information about
Ghost
the
Babel
soldier
was
genes
released
and
after
performed their own gene
Metal Gear
therapy
Solid 1 because it's a Game Boy
They can
Color
do
game.
that,
Yeah,
even
good luck
Metal
getting
Gear.
that. That's
Yeah.
so hard to
Gene
get
therapy
nowadays.
process
It's
is
so
almost
expensive.
completely
Nintendo,
overhauled.
bring it to NSL, please.
If not,
Yeah, right.
Konami, you know, one of these Metal Gear collections, put it on the
Even
collection.
the
Saying.
existence of this genome army is a national secret.
The
of
one game I
highest
want to
order.
see in the next
We have
Master
been able to
Collection is
investigate
4,
this
so we
thing
can finally get off the
quietly
PS3.
and deal with
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah,
That game has
please.
been trapped on the PS3, and I don't know how complicated it would be to port it to other systems because of just how complex PS games are in general to get working outside of the PS3. But I've heard PS3 emulation has gotten a lot better over the years. Like, people are
High-tech
running Metal Gear
Special
Solid
Forces
4
Unit
at like
Foxhound,
4K resolution,
your
60
former
FPS,
unit,
and it's
and one that
for the
I
most
was the
part fully
commander of.
playable. So I imagine
An
if we
elite
can't
group
port it,
combining
maybe somehow
firepower and
we can like
expertise.
emulate it on modern
They're
hardware
every
in some
bit as good
fashion.
as when I was
It'd just be
commanding.
good to have
Yeah.
that more available, since it's on one platform,
still
and now that
around.
said platform is
There are
old
6
and
members
starting to
of
fail, so
Foxhound
some people can't
involved in
even
this
go
terrorist
back to the
activity.
PS3 and play it,
Psycho
because the
Mantis
PS3s
with
just
his
don't work.
Powerful psychic abilities.
So
Sniper
now we're
Wolf,
talking about
the
like
beautiful
the
and
quote-unquote
deadly
bosses of this
sharpshooter.
game. There's a lot of them.
Octopus,
I mean,
master of
it's a long video
disguise.
game. You're gonna have bosses in it, and you would think like, how is this different from like fighting other enemies in this game? Well, it's a natural boss fight, and we'll be getting to our
Vulcan Raven,
our first actual
Giant
boss
and
fight
Shaman,
soon,
and
when we actually start playing. That
Ocelot,
is.
specialist in interrogation and a formidable
Yeah, and each
gunfighter.
boss here, we're hearing that there's a dossier
Sounds like a
file
bunch of
on them,
cartoon
so
characters.
technically Foxhound at this
And
point has a
finally, in
lot
charge
of
of them,
recon information on
Foxhound
the different
squad
bosses you're
leader,
gonna fight, so there's a lot of
Liquid
information about
Snake.
these bosses that you can get in like codec conversations too.
Liquid Snake.
Yep.
Yes, and you're the only person who can stand against him.
Funny how their names all have an animal code name on the end of them.
Yep. I mean, Foxhound itself is a name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. All right. So, Liquid Snake, the
Liquid
big man of them all, the same
Liquid
codec
Snake,
name
The
as
man who
Snake,
shares your code name.
just a little bit different. Solid and liquid.
versus the liquid.
I feel like we're missing one.
Tell me what you know.
Where's Gas Snake?
Liquid?
Yeah.
Gas
Fought in the
Snake.
Gulf War as a teenager, the youngest
Gelatin
person in the
Snake?
SAS. His job.
Imagine
was to
somebody
track
just
down
coming
and
in. It's like,
destroy
I'm Gas
mobile
Snake, and
missile
everybody
launching
just.
platforms.
It's like, oh my god.
It's like,
You were there
no,
too.
you're just a random guy who had too many
Infiltrate Western
beans at
Iraq
the
with a platoon of Green
at the picnic.
Berets.
Please get out of here.
I was
Yeah.
just a kid myself back then.
The details are
So,
classified.
in case you
It
haven't been
seems
following
that
the story,
he
because we've been
penetrated the
talking
Middle
over
East
it,
as a sleeper for the SIS.
Snake has to go to the
He was a
space
spy for the British Secret
and stop these
Intelligence
guys from launching
showed his
a
face in
nuclear
century
weapon
house.
called Metal Gear.
He was taken prisoner
Hint,
in
hint, title
Iraq,
drop.
and after that there was no trace of him for
But there's
7
more to it
years.
to that.
After you
Um,
retired, he
Big
was
Boss is
rescued
involved
and
somehow,
became a member
even though
of
he's dead,
Foxhound.
quote
I
unquote.
thought that by the time I left, they were no
And
longer
you got all these
using
guys
code
from
names.
Foxhound
I
that
don't know
just
his
want
real
to end
That
Snake's life for
information
some
is so
reason.
highly classified that
I think we're going to have to play the game to figure out what's going on
There's a
here.
photo of him.
Here's a photo of what he looks like. I don't know
I'll
how they
try
got
to
the
see it
shot
on
of
this
him.
camera.
Pretty shocking, huh? His skin
This is the
tone
closest
different,
camera I can get.
But otherwise, you two are exact duplicates.
Title drop.
Twin?
I don't know the details.
I
It
have a
seems
twin
so.
brother.
That's why we really need you for this mission.
You're the only one who can beat him.
It's like those superhero movies. It's like you only have the power to beat
Now
the
that I've met you, I know.
super villain.
I don't understand how he's the only one that could beat him. I'm sure any old gun could put a bullet in his head and end the day.
Oh, I don't know. You
Why
don't want to
does it
have a
be
guy
you?
in there seeing the two snakes, and then it's the situation of which one do I shoot? Who's the real Solid Snake?
Yeah.
Will the real Solid Snake please stand up?
And then they both stand. It's like, oh dear God, this is making it harder.
So that's it for all the briefing files. We pretty much got everything we need to know. But there's one more thing.
I need to borrow your scissors.
What are you going to do?
Don't worry. Just gonna clean myself up a little.
Huh?
I don't want to be mistaken for the leader of the terrorists.
Snake gave himself a haircut.
Go in the next scene. I swear, if he has longer hair, how?